see pea-sized hail at best, but right there when it was issued, you can see on the scale getting on up near maybe close to an inch in diameter for a second there, but then on the last couple of scans, it's come back down. So I think it's going to be one of these afternoons where we're going to see these storms fluctuate a little bit. They may not stay severe for the whole time. We may not see any of the warnings that we do see stay up and running for a lot of time. All right, trying to get over to the Facebook thing so I can see any comments. Let's save this here and then go back. Again, there could be some gusty winds with some of this. The official word is maybe a brief shot of maybe upwards of 60 miles per hour. Other storms developing in Bibb County from Crawford to Bibb right through here. This is not severe. It's kind of a busy afternoon with storms again back toward the west here. We'll see if any of those, blossom into anything else. This is the only one that's been showing severe tendencies, and the only thing with that we've seen is maybe some gusty winds, and then the hail core was large for a moment right before heading into high falls, and then that's actually started to weaken down. Alicia, so is this heading south? It is heading east-southeast, so heading right down 75 toward Forsyth. Again, not a tornado. It's a severe thunderstorm warning, some gusty winds, maybe some small hail in there. Not looking for any sort of big severe weather outbreak or anything today. But there could be one or two that are a little bit on the strong side. Let's see. All right. Just looking at any information I see there. Let's, is it coming toward North Macon? Yeah, well, I mean, if it holds together. If it's not that one, it'll be some of these other storms. So really what you do is you don't necessarily look at that one. You just kind of look at all of this back here. And, generally there's an eastward movement, but then also kind of a southeast movement. So you're going to see things kind of dropping in. So in other words, all this stuff will fill in as we go through the afternoon, and then eventually, like yesterday, we'll work the whole atmosphere over in a few hours or more, and a lot of the storms would be done this evening once we get all the instability out of the air, and it eats all the food that's there. And again, if you're anywhere in like Jasper, Putnam County, over to Hancock, Lake Sinclair, on down into Washington County. All of this is just starting to get going here. We'll see if any of these get strong. Right now, they're just normal little thunderstorms. We can look at the hail map, and I don't see any hail anywhere except for here, a little speck of maybe pea-sized hail heading into Monroe County. That's where the warning was issued, was that, but that was when it was showing this kind of hail core here. So it looks like this thing is weakening as it rolls southeast a pretty good bit. So technically the warning goes until 3:30. Just to show you again, we are not in an SPC outlook today for any severe weather. So we're not even in a level 1. So I don't expect a whole lot of this stuff today, but there could be one or two that have just a little bit of a kick to them. let's see here. I'll put the now, and you can see some of the numbers we have out there. Another warm day. We were trying to stay in the 80s and get underneath 90, and for the most part we have, but it's been pretty close with some spots still hitting 90. So still warm and muggy out here, so plenty of fuel for these storms as they ride across. Again, the bulk of these should be just normal old thunderstorms, but one or two, like this one, could have some small hail or maybe some gusty winds. No, Carl. No chance for flying cows, so I'm going to go ahead and gnaw. Pouring rain 3 miles from Harrison towards Pringle in Washington County. All right, yeah. And, just once again, none of that is severe. Everything in our area, if you're having rain or thunderstorms, is just regular old stuff. It's just this one. Technically, it goes until 3:30. I'm not sure this thing is going to stay warned for 29 more minutes because it looked worse here, and this is where the hail core was, but it's not showing that same, at least with the hail. There could be some gusty winds along here. Yeah, so see Lamar County on the north end there, that's where we're seeing maybe a little pea-sized hail. So technically, the part of it that would be the warned part is not even in Monroe County yet. And you can look as I go back in time, and you can see it kind of dropping southeast here. So it was kind of here and then sort of making a turn like this. Other stuff here from Washington, Johnson, Lawrence counties, Trutland County, none of that is severe, just regular old rain. Jasper, Putnam into Hancock, again, Lake Sinclair area, grazing Baldwin County, just regular old stuff. This is the only warning that's out there. Once again, it goes until 3:30. If it stays severe, otherwise it could be one of those where they expire it early. And again, the hail data sometimes is a little bit lagging coming in. But you're basically looking at anywhere from, quarter inch, something like that. Some gusty winds here in the red. Earlier when the warning was issued. Not seeing that as much now either. Kind of a pulse storm that sort of fired up and had some kick to it, so a warning gets issued. And we're just waiting to see if that warning will actually stretch all the way out until 3:30 or if it will expire at some point. It's at least running for right now. Macon area, anywhere from West Bibb, heading on over Lake Tobosoffke, as you go between Highway 80 and Thomaston Road, kind of threading the needle between there, kind of crossing over 475 as light rain, a few rumbles as you get back over the lake. But again, that's not severe, not seeing hail in there or high winds. So again, if you're just joining us, not looking for any sort of big severe weather outbreak or anything today, but this is a warning that is out for Monroe County until 3:30. Heading toward the Macon area, that's if it holds together as a severe storm. Either way, there should be some rain, and what's probably going to happen too is as this starts to fill in and we get rain-cooled air and start to kind of change the environment here, as this rides down, it should weaken as it runs into some of that, and some of this is trying to catch up to it underneath it. Let's see what future view shows for the rest of tonight. Just spotty stuff. There's 5 o'clock hour, 7. Places that aren't, not seeing rain now, probably fill in. This is 8, 9 o'clock, 10, 11, midnight. And just left over with some light stuff. Maybe a shower or storm still around as we head toward morning time tomorrow. A little change in tomorrow's forecast. I was talking about, maybe getting some lower humidity. I'm not sure that's going to make it in from South Carolina, but the other better news in one sense, is if you're wanting kind of a fall feel, we may be locked in with cloud cover tomorrow and maybe a little bit of drizzle off and on. And if that's the case, then we won't get out of the 70s tomorrow. So it may not be lower humidity, but the actual temperature may be down some. Let's go back and look at hail again. And it looks like our hail data is either severely lagging coming in or stuck. It still shows it in the same spot here. This is a storm that was severe in Atlanta just a little while ago. So it's been these up here that have had the most kick. All this, not necessarily lining up, but sort of in a line. So as we go through the afternoon, we'll see a lot of this spread eastward. And then on the outside edge, you're getting stuff to the north and east firing up too. So it's just a lot in the middle that's kind of quiet for right now. Let's see, wind in Jones County. There'll be some light rain coming in the next 20 to 30. The stronger stuff, if it stays strong like this over the next hour or so. And you can see things trying to line up just a little bit through here. So again, though, even having said that, I think we could have a warning or so like this, but shouldn't be overly busy as far as severe weather today. Once again, as far as the Storm Prediction Center is concerned, we're not even in a threat level for today. But it goes to show you can still have a storm or two with a little bit of a punch. All right, so there's the new hail look, and it's barely showing anything at all. Just outside of High Falls Lake. So this is going to be on the west side of 75, still leaving Lamar, heading into Monroe. So nearly no hail. And as you look at the wind, let's see if that's picking up. That's on Peachtree City's radar, and we look at it on ours. Not seeing a whole lot as far as wind is concerned. I'm sure it's probably a little gusty there. So technically a little over 20 minutes left on this warning, unless it is allowed to expire. We saw that with a warning in Lawrence County yesterday that never made it to its full expiration time. So we shall see. Going to the graph model looking forward, this takes us through tonight, and it shows the continuation of this stuff, 7, 8 o'clock, on into 9, 10, 11 o'clock, midnight there, and most of it's gone then. And then we try to crank up some more rain, possibly early tomorrow morning, through mid-morning, through midday. And then for football Friday nighters like us, you can see maybe some clouds hanging around, maybe a little bit of drizzle. And then that may hang around into tomorrow night on into Saturday. So it's been a tricky forecast looking forward through all this. And it still is for tomorrow night and Saturday. What was initially looking really dry with low humidity is looking like maybe not so much low humidity, but maybe some cloud cover, a little bit of drizzle possible, but also that would keep things cooler. So still kind of a fall feel in that regard. Sunday, there will be another frontal boundary right here. It could spark some rain as we go through Sunday, and that may bring some lower humidity as we go into the start of next week. So here's what I'm talking about with the temperatures. There's tomorrow morning, and then right through here. Tomorrow afternoon, that may be as high as it gets if we have the clouds and rain hanging around. So definitely different than the 95 we had day before yesterday. So this would actually be a neat little treat. May have some clouds, may have to hit the wipers occasionally, but it would be cooler. And then here is Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, we'll say low 80s. And then with the dew point map, again, earlier in the week, we were seeing, not just light green, but no green here, where a real dry slot would be kicking in during the day tomorrow and Saturday. Shows a little bit of that as we head into Saturday morning and through the day. So there may be some drier air, but then this next front back here is going to start to come in, and we'll have humidity up ahead of that with some more rain too. So we'll figure that out, and I'll have more on that on the shows coming up this afternoon. Let's go back to the old radar. All right, let's look at the again, if you look at the radar, the storm appears to have weakened a fair amount. It's right through here toward High Falls, not seeing the hail we were once seeing, and the winds are not as gusty as they were. And all this is kind of trying to group together a little bit here now. If you look at the latest hail map, again, crossing over into Monroe County, and that little orange spot there, maybe a ½ inch to a ¼ inch. And again with the wind, not seeing a whole lot in the way of that. Could be gusting, 40, something like that. I'm not sure we're still hitting 60 on that. And the latest hail look shows this one blip over 4.5 pine trees about to cross High Falls Road. So this storm has weakened down a good bit. So again, waiting to see if this warning is going to remain for another 17 minutes. Other showers and storms, again, if you're in the Macon area, anywhere from West Bibb, Lake Tovasofkee to Lizella area, and then spreading over into the southern half, the county, maybe heading into downtown a little bit, some light rain if that holds together, steadier stuff as you go back here. Looking back to the west, there's some other thunderstorms trying to get going. Once again, not looking for a huge severe weather outbreak or anything like that today, but we'll keep an eye on them to see if one or two have some gusty winds and maybe some hail in there. You can see rain with a couple of rumbles around Lake Sinclair on the Hancock side. Baldwin, north of Milledgeville, maybe a little bit of rain there. Parts of Washington County, nothing severe with any of that. Yeah, so the only warning that we have is this one until 3:30 for this part of the storm right here, which is almost showing no hail, and we're not seeing a ton of wind with that. All right, let's see if we have any questions. All right, guys, technically that warning goes until 3:30. To me, it looks like the storm has weakened a lot. So I was waiting to see if they were going to expire this storm, and they have not yet. They've had their hands busy with some stuff in Atlanta with some flooding problems up that way. So it may run itself all the way out to 3:30, but this is going to end our coverage here of this. Let's get ready for the 5 o'clock show a little later. If we have anything of any more substance, we'll pop on here. So again, this technically goes until 3:30. I would imagine it's going to expire before long, as it really doesn't look any different than the storms that are around it now. Okay, thanks for your time, guys, and we'll talk soon.